Think Tech Hawaii. Civil engagement lives here.
Aloha and mabuhay. We want to welcome you again to another empowering edition of Pinoy Power Hawaii. And again, we express our gratitude to Think Tech Hawaii for allowing us to come to your homes and share with you empowering topics and issues that affects or we can benefit from our show today. We are so fortunate to have BFF Sisterhood today to tell us and share us their heartwarming stories of how they keep their friendships alive. And hopefully by what we are about to share today, you will be in line with our mission. We aim to enrich, enlighten, educate, entertain, and of course the big picture is to empower. So today we're going to have a conversation about BFF Sisterhood, and we have in the studio our guests. First of all, Karen is an anchor at our Pinoy Power Radio, and she hosts Healing Hawaii every Sunday at 7 to 8 p.m. So welcome to our show, Karen.
Mahalo, Emmy. So great to be here.
Thank you. And we also have, of course, Christine.
Yes.
Welcome
Hi.
to the show.
Nice to see you. Nice to be with you.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have Monica.
Yes.
To help us with our empowerment. So we will begin our conversation. Tell us a little bit about how you grew up and how your friendship started and how it blossomed.
Well, I think we became friends because we all went to school together.
Yes.
But they went to school together from elementary or intermediate school, right?
Sacred Heart's Convent, yes.
Sacred Heart's Convent.
Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
That means we have the same.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Okay.
And then I got to meet them because we all ended up at Sacred Heart's Academy for high school, and then that's where we met.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but we weren't really close in high school.
Right.
We knew each other, but we
Right.
didn't really become really close friends until years later after high school, I would
That's
say.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think it was after one of our reunions. I won't say the year, or, but
You're dating yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
one of
had
the
retreats and things like
Yeah.
that.
But we all
made us
had different
bond.
groups in high
Yes.
school. So we all had
correct.
we all belonged to different friendship groups.
Right.
But like for some reason, like
Well, church
Yeah,
and a lot
and
of other
then
things brought us together,
God
of course.
always
Yes.
kind of brought
Yes.
us back together.
In our
you
lingo,
know?
we call it our peer pressure group or our gang. The
Yes,
gangsta,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
But nothing was cliquish. We all loved each other. We just had
Yeah.
the dancers and the straight A students and
Yeah, close
you know the
friendships
cheerleaders
here and
and
Which
you
I
know.
was none of those.
Yeah, neither was I.
So different categories.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Since you were friends the longest, tell us what it was like growing up together. Were you like, did you form a sisterhood, like sisters, where you shared anything and everything? And
Well, like Karen had mentioned, we have become close sisters because of the bonds that we have formed since Facebook, I should say.
Yeah,
Okay.
social media
yes.
helps really connect us.
Reconnect us.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
reconnect us. And so since, slowly but surely, 2, 3, 4, 10 of us now together, yes, and we always get together. We go out to wine events at each other's houses, other things, school events we've gone to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's through our class reunions and through our high school bond and the foundation we got at school with God and our Catholic upbringing.
Right.
That when we started to grow up and through the years and using social media to reconnect us, it helped us because as you age, you go through life and life can be tough and hard and you kind of like need to lean on your childhood friends and
Right.
your sisterhood. Yeah,
Right.
so it really helped us to
Go through the things
Right.
that we had to go
Yeah.
through.
Ups and downs
in
of life.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And Stacy Ayers, who's not here with us today.
Yeah, we're missing two Stacys, but
we
too
had
many
we
Ayers.
had a conversation this morning, which was spot on. Is like God brings people in your life for seasons, and He always brought us back together. You know, whether someone got married, moved to the mainland, and when He brought us back together in the new season, it was like we never left each other's side. Like you just kind of pick up from where you left left off and it didn't feel like you were disconnected for 5 years or 6 years or whatever it was, you know. So I think it was just the foundation of the sisterhood of Sacred Hearts Academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So share with us, when did you know that you could rely on each other, whether it's good or bad, especially for you two, where you started your friendship at a very early age? Because sometimes there are what we call false friends who are there to, you know, suck energy or get information just to put you down so that they look good.
That's very true. I think both of us were easygoing.
Totally.
Yeah,
We go with the flow, you know,
So
love
we were
everyone.
easy to make friends, and I think that some people were a little bit separated, maybe not had the same likes or dislikes, but as far as me and Monica and me and Karen, we definitely have the same likes and dislikes, and even if, you know, some of that wasn't the same, we still could lean on each other. We could trust our bonds.
Right.
Yeah, with not like maybe saying it outside of our group, or perhaps you know, just keeping that in line with inside of ourselves. Like we're gonna help out each other. We're gonna be able to get through this together, and without any external type of influences, I would say.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I think it's maturity. I'm sure I talk for the three of us. We've had friendships from youth, you know, to now, and you have those friends that suck the energy out of you. You have the drama or the negativity, and as you get older, you only have so much time in your life. So you want to make sure that friendships that you have are quality, and you need to know who to let go of and who to keep next to you, and in your circle, you know who you can depend on. And I think doing our Y to Kai has brought us even closer together, because I know I can lean on them. There's no judgment, you know, there's honesty. I can be transparent and tell them how I feel. They might not agree with everything that I think or I'm doing, but they're there to love me and support me, you know. And that's that good security, of knowing that I can come to them and they won't judge me or turn their back, that they will be an ear to listen.
That is so heartwarming to hear that you have that bond of like unconditional love, which helps to sustain you. I grew up on the island of Lanai. So
That's a small one.
it's a small island. So everybody lives in a glass house where everyone knows what's going on, what you're doing, which boy you're going out with, which boy you stayed out with, you know, that kind of thing. Was there ever a time in your life where you had those crushes and a boy got in between, or
friendships?
You're right.
Not us particularly,
Yeah,
but growing up in life, yes.
But describe what you saw growing up that helped you to learn from watching that experience. Because I know that sometimes those type of high school romance kind of get in the way, where you know friendships are broken.
Right.
Did you witness? Or?
I've witnessed several friendships, and it's hurtful, you know, because you trust and you love that person, and you feel that, you know, that's your best friend. But with maturity, because back then you don't understand it, as you grow, you're like, okay, that wasn't true friendship.
You can look at it a different way.
Because a friend would not turn their back on you. You know,
True.
Or you could communicate, but when you're young, you don't know how to communicate and how you feel.
Yes.
So you keep it all inside, right? And as you get older, it's like there's no sense in going back and talking about that issue. So you just gotta forgive and let go.
True.
And not hold on to it.
That's true. Monica, that's easier to say because we can look back and we have wisdom and experience that makes us wiser.
Right.
But what was difficult for me was all the name calling, bullying for me. So I came from the Philippines, where I didn't speak good English, and I was always bullied and put down. I got called manang, or you know, bagong, all kinds of derogatory. So I'm not sure if you experienced that type of bullying, name calling, and had these challenges growing up, because that kind of stops you or suppresses you from doing your best. Can you relate to what I'm saying?
Chris can share.
I moved around a lot. I had family here in Hawaii. My mom worked for the airline, so I traveled back and forth. And so yes, because I spoke really good English, I came from the mainland, I'd go back and forth. Summer school, I'd come here. And when I was really young, they'd tease me and all of that. It started in Sacred Heart's convent, but it got much more easy down the line. Yeah, I made friendships very easily, and then that all went away. Yeah, so of course we live and we learn. It took me a while to open myself up because I was bullied a little bit, yes. Called names here and there, and that was very hurtful. So I think that did hinder me, but I think I came back strong. And as I got older, it was very easy for me to make friends, so I got over that.
And I did have experience with bullying in elementary and intermediate school. I think most people do have some sort of experience with that. But what saved me or helped me was friends. Like, you have the bullies that bully you, but then you also have people that stick up for you or that support you or that you really can count on. And those are the ones that get you through.
Yes,
So
you hang
having
on
that
to those.
support, yes, and having those true friends,
Yes, in my case, there were a lot of older guys that came to my rescue because they were the one that were able to stand up to the big titas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet you in the back of the gym. Be there.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, or they would take things away from you, and I felt so defenseless because I was so fearful.
Because you came from another country too, you spoke a different language, so it was probably more obstacles to connect.
Exactly.
Yeah. But did you have female friends that came for your support?
There were, yes, but because of the peer pressure, like, oh, you better not take her side,
be friends with her.
Be friends with her, or else you're not gonna be our friend, you know. So that type of bullying kind of stuck with me. But later on, I learned to develop tools that I would use so that I would stand out rather than continue being bullied. So
that probably comes out naturally, I would think. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
Okay, so we can talk about that in the next portion of our program. Again, we appreciate you tuning into our weekly show where we can learn from past experiences and how we can apply these tools that help us to shape our lives and live a more positive life. So we will return after our short break. And again, you're listening to Pinoy Power Hawaii, Think Tech Hawaii.
When I was growing up, I was among the 1 in 6 American kids who struggle with hunger. But with the power of breakfast, the kids in your neighborhood can think big and be more. Go to hungeris.org to make breakfast happen for kids in your neighborhood.
皆さんこんにちは。Think Tech Hawaii が日本語でお届けするこんにちはハワイの日本語放送のホスト国末ゆかりです。各週月曜日の2時からお届けしています。日本語コミュニティ、ハワイの日本語コミュニティに便利なお助け情報、ニュースなどをゲストをお招きしてお届けする番組です。こんにちはハワイ、各週の月曜日2時からぜひ皆さん見てください。ホストの国末ゆかりでした。アロハ。
Aloha, I'm Richard Concepcion, the host of Hispanic Hawaii. You can watch my show every other Tuesday at 2 p.m. We will bring you entertainment, educational, and also we tell you what is happening right here within our community. Think Tech Hawaii. Aloha.
Welcome back to Pinoy Power Hawaii, and again, our discussion for this episode is about BFF sisterhood, how we can learn from our real-life experiences, the lessons that we learn growing up, and how to apply them to benefit our family members and our friends. So we're having a heart-to-heart discussion with, of course, Karen, Christine, and Monica, who are honest and pouring their hearts out, so that the lessons that we learn from our childhood can be applied to our immediate family, especially our children who, in this world where it's a fast-moving society. There's so many things going on, and we rely so much on technology to kind of help raise our children, but that's not good enough. How are you raising your family, and how are you using the tools that you've learned that help you to cope and help you to better yourself in today's very demanding and very competitive society?
Yeah, it's super hard. I have a daughter at Sacred Hearts, and social media, it really affects young women. There makes them insecure. You look at that, you want this, and you need to look like that. But I always made sure for my son and my daughter that I knew who their friends were. Because their friends were a reflection of who they were going to be.
Exactly.
And I always loved my children's friends. My daughter has great friendships that she's building at Sacred Hearts, like how we did. And when I see that and I see what we build, I'm like so excited for her future, because she's going to have these women that they grow together. Where they go off to college, they're going to come back together in life no matter what. But it's just, for me, is I have a open, honest relationship. My daughter can talk to me about anything, and I love that. I don't want to be where she can't come to me. Some of the things she tells me I don't agree with and I don't like, but she can share with me, and I can share with her.
When she shares you things that you don't quite agree with, do you react or judge her?
No.
Okay.
The way I have my friendships is no judgment, because if I judge her, she's not going to open up to me.
She's going to withhold.
Yes. So I kind of have, she's my daughter. We have a mother-daughter relationship, but we still have a friendship. And I try never to judge her and just be really open and honest and transparent with her.
Sometimes it's hard to do, and it's hard to not to react.
Yes,
it is.
But Monica's good because she also guides her, though. She always guides her and gives her guidance and advice without judgment. Just open, honest, and giving her advice and guidance based on our experiences growing up too, right? You learn from your experiences, then you pass that on.
Right. And then my experience is going to all-girls school. She's going to all-girls school.
Right.
And the things I went through, negative and positive, I share with her. And sometimes she probably won't get it. She's 17 years old, but one day she will understand.
She's like, I'm not like that, Mom.
Yeah.
Eventually she'll go, oh, I was.
Yeah.
Okay, so Christine, can you relate to?
I currently can't, because I do not have a child. I have fur babies.
Any fur baby. Okay.
But as far as my stepfather recently passed away, so it's my mother relating with my mom. I think that I learned friendships and relationships through her. She has lots of friends. She's good friends with all her neighbors, her classmates. She still gets together with Farrington High School classmates, which are awesome. They go to Vegas together. So I like to see that, and I think I learned from that as well. And slowly but surely, we're building our group, and I think that we have a really good close-knit friendship with I think it's about 10 to 12 of us right now. Yeah. And we want more of our classmates
to come together.
But everybody's so busy. They have kids and families.
But we need it more than ever.
We do.
With the demands of society. So I kind of tune into Karen's show from time to time just to hear what she's talking about. And when I listen to her show, she always bring her faith into the show, and I know that that's a big part of your success. So, Karen, tell us about that and how you interject your constant faith into your life to make you a better person.
Thank you for that, by the way. I mean, and I think we got it at school because we went to a Catholic school, and so that you can have prayer in school, you have a relationship, you get to know Jesus, you have a relationship with God. So that gave us a foundation for that. And whether you go to Christian or other paths, spiritual paths, you have that foundation and that relationship already established from school. And for me, throughout life, I explored different avenues of religions and spirituality. But my mom was very devout Catholic. And I had to, now I'm going to cry, but I had to take care of her. And when she passed away,
Thank you. Going back to the Catholic Church and reconnecting with my Catholic faith that I grew up with helped me connect to my mom. So, and then it helped me connect to my sisterhood too, because that's where we all met and grew up together. So it helped me with that as well.
Yeah. So
in my show, I start my show with a prayer.
Right,
And
right,
I'm
right.
open to any prayer that the guest can bring. But usually I start with the Our Father because that's my roots and my
Right,
Catholic
right.
upbringing, my Christian upbringing.
Always. Huh?
And it just kind of gives you a foundation to kind of take a breath and downshift from the craziness of the world and connect to our Creator.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Right, right.
It's all about faith building and keeping. We know that there's a higher power. We know that God, Almighty Father, guides us, directs us, and make sure that we are taken care of. So I wanted to just quickly ask you folks how does that fit in your life, and how do you, sometimes our children don't like to talk about religion, because it's not a cool thing. So tell us, Monica, how do you do that?
Well, I was brought up in Catholic church, and at 10, we our whole family changed over to Christian. We went to a very wonderful Christian church, and then at one point in my life, I kind of just walked away. So my son went to church with me, and he has the foundation, and he knows everything, and he's still, to this day, as an adult, going to get married, and he knows that God is good and God is center. Now my daughter...
But you've never walked away during school, though.
Not during school, yeah. It was just as in my adult life, you went through a divorce, and you just kind of just give up on whatever, and you just kind of go down a different path. And doing that Y to Chi helped me come back to my roots, And so now, not bringing my daughter up the way I was and my son was, I can't force upon her. I have to lead by an example. So just, lead in prayer, be a better mom, watch my tongue, how I treat people. I need to be an example for her, because as a teenager, they know. You don't know. Yeah. I know everything, right? That's their mentality.
Right.
So you can't force anything upon them. You just have to lead by example. So that's what I'm doing now. Is just trying to lead by example and be the best mother, friend, sister that I can be, and hopefully she sees the God in me,
right?
And that she will be on her spiritual path. She goes to Sacred Heart, so she gets the foundation there.
Right.
And I think that has strengthened our relationship too, because we pray together.
Yeah.
So as friends, we pray.
Right. We make Karen pray all the time.
And they don't make the words. Yeah. But we pray together.
Yeah. She goes, "Does anybody pray?" And I'll be like, "Karen."
Then she actually brings it out of us.
Yeah, she does.
Then
we all start praying.
But then that helps, because it really strengthens our bond when you have faith between your friends.
Yes, it does.
It really strengthens us. And Monica's talking about Y to Chi.
What's the Y to Chi?
So that is, Vi is fresh water, Kai is ocean, salt water. And we did this thing, and actually today is the first day of the Poi Poi moons, which is fuller moons in Hawaiian lunar calendar. And the last time we had the Poi Poi moons, we did this practice called Vi to Kai, which is you touch fresh water, stream water in the morning, and then you touch ocean water, salt water in the afternoon, evening. And it's kind of like a completion of a cycle. And you be kind to the water. The water is a metaphor for yourself. And we did it as a sisterhood. And we prayed at the water, whether alone or with each other. But we did this 10-day journey during the Poi Poi moons, touching fresh water and touching ocean water. And it really changed many of us and opened us up. And we used prayer as part of that. And that strengthened our friendship so much.
It did.
Because
that
it was
so
amazing. No, it was. Because it was such an amazing journey. Who would have thought that 10 days of, I didn't even understand what I was doing, but that first morning we prayed together, just kind of bonded us. And like 2-3 days later, like God was showing things in my life. I was like, wow.
All the little gifts,
like an awakening,
right?
Yes.
That's
the
an
water
awakening.
is the source of life, and the water just I don't know, touching the aina, the land, the water, and
It
connecting.
cleanses you, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes.
It was
And
so
then the
good.
power of prayer between the three of
Yes.
us.
Coming into agreement, makes
Yes.
the work. It makes
What
it
a
even powerful.
perfect combination. Now, the people who are listening, who wants to be a part of this Y2Kai,
Yes.
how could they be a part of that?
Well, how I found out about it was through Tom Penna, who's with Homai Kapono.
Okay.
Homai Kapono. And he runs regular workshops on lunar phases and Hawaiian moons and Hawaiian place and time. And it was suggested to me to do this practice to see what it would stir inside of me and what would be revealed to me just from touching the stream and touching the ocean. And so I go to his workshops regularly at the Manoa Heritage Center, but people can go to Homai Kapono, I think it's homaikapono.org. Or .com, I think it's .org, and they could Google Homai Kapono and check it out. And they have workshops regularly about the lunar phases and the Hawaiian moons. And this is part of that practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just an awakening for me how
Yeah, it was
the
good.
water around us affect us, the fresh water and the seawater or salt water.
Because we are mostly water, and
Yes.
and the land, the earth, the world is mostly
That's
water.
correct.
Yeah.
So
We are
it's
surrounded.
amazing how that connection just
Yes.
reveals stuff in you. Because we all had revelation during that 10-day thing. So yeah, it was really special.
That is so awesome, and I want to thank all three of you for coming to our show to
Emmy.
shed some light and, of course, empowerment. This is really powerful when we share experiences. We share not so much a secret, but true to life tools that you use in your daily life to help turn negative things into something wonderful and positive. And that is what we need in today's world.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you again, and
love
may
my
God bless
sisters.
you.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
you,
Thank
Abby.
you for bringing us together
appreciate it.
again.
We want to thank you once again for joining us for Pinoy Power Hawaii, and we encourage you to continue watching the shows where we have real guests, where they are open to share their life's experiences and from the situations and for what we share with you. We hope to fulfill a mission to enrich, enlighten, educate, entertain, and we hope to empower you. Maraming salamat, million mahalos to Think Tech Hawaii for giving us this opportunity. Till next time, mabuhay and mahalo.